So, anime 100% was a mistake. It's the worst thing Japan did to the world since Pearl Harbor, in my opinion. So, kind of growing up, I watched a little bit of anime. Camera shaking. We had 3 channels growing up, and my options to watch Japanese cartoons were very limited. We had 2 shows that would pop on. We would have Dragon Ball that came on Saturday mornings, and we would also have Dragon Ball Z, or not Dragon Ball Z. We would have Dragon Ball one morning and have Sailor Moon the next morning. Those were my 2 experiences in anime growing up until Pokemon came out. The Pokemon games, they suck, by the way. They suck real bad. Everyone was obsessed with Pokemon, the cards, the games. The only thing I actually did like about Pokemon was the card game, funny enough, because it was actually playing with cards. Had some fun with it. But that's when I really started to know what anime was, because everyone was obsessed over the cartoons. And, did you see the last episode of Pokemon? Ash used Charizard or something fruity like that. I watched Pokemon a couple times. I'm like, oh, it's like the games, just worse. And the games are already terrible. Then I got into junior high, and that's when the weeaboos really started showing their faces. We had a few kids. They would wear Dragon Ball Z shirts. Dragon Ball Z is like the only acceptable anime to watch because it's basically Superman, but slightly worse. Yeah. No, there's one other anime that's actually good. I'll get into that. But no, it's the whole culture of watching anime that's really terrible. See, anime fans kind of fall into 2 different categories. You have like the athletic guys that would watch anime for some reason. So you'd have like all the track athletes, and for whatever reason they'd be watching Naruto, and you'd see like the guys from track and field doing the little Naruto run on the track, and that was actually kind of funny. But yeah, mostly the anime fans were the actual worst part. Now, my worst encounter with an anime fan was I was at the mall one time. And some kid, he started doing this. He was like going, and he kept going like, and then he started running down the hallway as fast as he could. And he kept going, and he ran down the hallway with his arms behind his back and running full tilt. And I must have been 25. I just burst out laughing, and I couldn't stop laughing at this guy and go, and then running down the hallway. I thought he was just like trying to be super weeb, but no, it wasn't that. It was, he was actually severely mentally handicapped, and him making that noise was just kind of his verbal tick that he was doing, and he was running down the hallway with his hands behind the back. But his parents, I don't think, knew that he was copying anime. I thought pretty sure they had no idea what Naruto was. So they see me laughing my head off at some poor little handicapped fella running down the hallway with Naruto hands. So they gave me the death stare. That's probably my worst encounter with an anime fan. We had one guy in high school. He was a super anime fan, but not like just anime. He was like super in the hardcore everything Japanese culture. He'd come to school with like little dulled down ninja blades in his back pocket, and he would teach the other, let's call them simple kids, Japanese words and phrases. So he'd come into school and be like, konnichiwa, and like all that kind of weird stuff, and then he'd get the other kids to respond back to him. I don't know how he got a girlfriend, but he got a girl pregnant when he was 15, so I guess some girls like the anime fans. But he would come to school, he would talk about Japanese anime, he'd talk about martial arts, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But like I said, he's one of the 2 types of anime fans. He was the kind who didn't bathe, unfortunately. And he'd be like one of those pretentious anime fans who thought he was smarter than all the other normies because he liked anime. He would actually try to shame you for not exporting Japanese games to the West. He was like, I have a copy of Mother for the NES and you don't. You haven't scrubbed your butthole in a week, dude. I think I'm okay. Now, we also had a few other type of hyper anime fans. We had a Yu-Gi-Oh club, and they would kind of meet in we called it the Kmart Mall, where all the kids would just go and play their Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Now, the card playing kids were actually more the normal ones up until when you, at least for the kids, when you see grown men playing Magic the Gathering, there's something wrong in the head with them. But if you see kids playing Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, that's acceptable. That's more acceptable than grown men spending hundreds of dollars on Magic the Gathering cards and $0 on a bar of soap. When I got to kind of went out in the workforce, there was quite a few weird anime fans. You had still the same kind of thing. You'd have like the normal, athletic, attractive-looking people who liked anime, like the one girl at work that had a Spirited Away post mug or cup on her desk. She was like, "I like the movie. It's cool." I'm like, "Yeah, you go, girl. It's a good movie." But then you would have the one weeb in the corner that spent half his paycheck on pop figures, buying Naruto pop figures every single paycheck. That weighed about 420 pounds and never. Well, actually, I shouldn't make fun of someone for being big, because I'm certainly big. But you know. Now, when I went out to GameStop one time, there was one fella that he went in there looking for a Naruto figure, and I had my kid with me. There must have been something wrong with him in the head. Well, he liked anime, so yes, there definitely was. Brought him out there. He started talking about Naruto and Naruto's girlfriend. He's like, "Yeah, Naruto's the alpha male of the Hokage clan or whatever, but his girlfriend, that's just his fleshlight. He's just using her for sexual gratification. That's his fleshlight." So that's the kind of stuff that he liked. Now, growing up, I started to like certain anime things. Not all of them. Not the weird. If it looks like there's a girl as a main character on an anime that's in a schoolgirl outfit, I will absolutely not watch it. Absolutely not. But like stuff like Death Note, that's a good show, Death Note. Dragon Ball Z, I'm kind of liking it, but if your protagonist looks like a schoolgirl, no. Will not watch it. I have a buddy of mine that I went to school with. He reviews a lot of Japanese video games. He's pretty well adjusted, and he's got a pretty decent following online in the tens of thousands as far as I can tell. He's a buddy of mine from school. Won't say his name, but you can look up his YouTube channel, Tark's Gauntlet. Good show to watch. Lots of weeby stuff. He definitely has at least one pillow at home with a anime girl on it that stands completely upright. Now, when I got to college, there's a few anime fans, and like I said, we had the two different levels of anime fans. We had one girl I went to school with. Her name was Hannah. Like, she was like athletic, strong as an ox, and cool. We sat together, and she would always talk about how she liked Naruto. She didn't like obsess over Naruto, but she would like laugh at like people doing the Naruto run. And we would talk about how we liked the movie, like what was that movie called, where her princess and Princess Mononoke. We talked about that movie because we thought it was pretty cool. She was the cool type of anime fan. Then we had an anime fan called Serena. She's the other type of anime fan. She wore fox ears to school. That's red flag number one. Red flag number two, she went ooh, like did that little fruity ooh thing, whatever you call it. I can't do it because I'm a man. And she she kind of inserted herself into random conversations that had nothing to do with anime to talk about how much she loved anime. There was a girl in my class. She had a short buzz cut, and we would always talk about how she looked like a chick that was from John Wick, and she was like a model, and her name was Ruby Rose. Like, looked exactly like her. One of the girls was like, "Oh, have you seen Chloe? She's beautiful. She looks like Ruby Rose." And Serena, apparently there's another anime character called Ruby Rose. She like transforms into a wolf or something retarded. And she's like, "Oh, you guys are talking about Ruby Rose?" And something along those lines. So yeah, two types of anime fans. You get your Hannahs and you get your Serenas. You want to be like Hannah. And Serena, she was really weird. She would wear fox ears to school, and she ended up flunking out because she couldn't handle being on placement. She would rather go. She basically let old people suffer. I won't say much about it because I don't want people to know where I went to school. But she was borderline abusive to people. Not really. I could be wrong. If you're watching Serena, I'm sorry. Yeah, she was really, really, really weird, and unacceptable to watch anime. But there are a couple I like. Death Note, I like it because there's only 20 episodes of it. People tell me I should watch like Naruto or One Piece, and I go online, I see how many episodes there are, and there's like 600 episodes of Naruto. I'm like, Yeah. No, I'm not watching 600 episodes of anything unless the name starts with star and ends in Trek. Um, Absolutely not. Or maybe like Ninja Turtles. I might. I watched Dragon Ball Z. But that's like there's like 200 episodes of that, and that's like my absolute limit. Um, ugh. Excuse me. There's another guy in school that I was buddies with. Is what we'll call him Patty. Patty, he really liked his anime, but he was really, really weird. There was one funny thing he said once. He was like obsessed with Asian girls because of anime. Again, he probably had a body pillow in his basement. We're talking one day, and there was an Asian girl and a white girl walking by, and he said something along the lines of, "Hey, check out that hot girl." I'm like, "Which one are you talking about? The Asian or the white chick?" It was like, what do you mean? It's like, well, the Asian or the Caucasian? He's like, "Yeah, I'd like to cock that Asian." So that, yeah, you got me good with that joke. That was an actual funny joke. Yeah, anime is bad. You should feel bad for watching it. Don't let your kids watch anime unless it's Studio Ghibli, like Spirited Away or anything like that. Because if you don't, they're gonna grow up to be 30-year-old man children who have their shells full of weeby stuff and can't get girlfriends except for ones that they cut out of cardboard. So yeah, see ya.